there wasn't room for him in one room. There's plenty of room in Philadelphia. He has defined that offense this season, goes past the 2,000-yard mark. How do you celebrate this feat?
Wow, unbelievable year for one of the more talented running backs in the National Football League. And the luxury that we had the opportunity of watching with Saquon is what he could do when he has solid function offensive production around him in terms of personnel, in terms of play calling. Because we saw flashes here or there throughout his time with the New York Giants, but the inability to have a solidified offensive line unit to work from behind really hampers some of his production. Go to Philly. Not only does he have a sound offensive line to work from behind, but also outstanding quarterback play that led to a career year for Saquon, surpassing 2,000 yards on the ground. And to your point, Joe, we don't know if he's done just the running back position, a position that has been devalued for such a long time. Yeah. And Philly fans, they love the fact that the Giants did not want Saquon Barkley, because what we're seeing right now with Saquon Barkley, this is a team in the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll say it right now. They have championship-like aspirations because he makes everything around them better in terms of the passing game, in terms of the offensive line play, in terms of the pass catchers. Saquon is the engine for their truck. And when he is rolling, the offense is rolling in a day where they didn't have their franchise quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Kenny Pickett did what he was supposed to do. Got injured. Tanner McKee comes in, didn't miss a beat as well. But when you have a running game like they have with Saquon Barkley, everything moves easier within the offense.
So just to reiterate here, for them to be alive for that 1 seed in Week 18, they need Detroit to lose in Week 17. They also need Minnesota to lose to Green Bay in Week 17. Still alive.
Yep. So they will be watching
how it plays out. They need the 49ers
this afternoon,
and they need the Green Bay Packers. That would keep them alive heading into Week 18, which is a matchup with the New York Football Giants, who are looking for a 1 seed. So plenty still at stake, different things, but Saquon Barkley, again, passes 2,000 yards here in Week 17, something to celebrate. And with that, not to overshadow, a division title here for Philadelphia 11 times in the last 24 seasons. It's one that they pass around year after year, but it certainly seems like this quarter century sort of belongs to the Eagles right now, Mac, as they collect yet another one. Some time for their quarterback to get right. You talked about Super Bowl aspirations. Complete package from Philadelphia right now.
No question, complete package. You know, when you look at their not to mention some of the sprinkle of vets that they have on the defense as well. Remember, they don't have Brandon Graham, right? He's been out for some months now. They haven't missed a beat. Just imagine if he was in this lineup as well. But what they've done, looking at taking care of the division, getting the hats and the T-shirts today, winning the NFC East, now having their eyes set on the playoffs, and they will have a home game, at least one. They're the link. That's huge for Philadelphia's chances to be able to get to New Orleans when it's all said and done for the Super Bowl.
When we look at this Eagles team moving forward, yes, they can beat anybody in the NFL, and it goes through Saquon Barkley. How do you weigh those two things heading into Week 18? If there is that outside chance, yeah, he's going to be on the football field. If not, what does the record mean? Do you put him on a football field knowing you're locked into the 2 seed?
No, it doesn't make any sense, because the only reason I think Saquon should play in the final week of the season, if you have an opportunity to get the number 1 seed, if you have an opportunity to have that first round bye and have everything go through Philadelphia. But if Detroit wins, of course, Green Bay wins, either or, it doesn't make any sense to have Saquon out there playing in a meaningless football game for a potential record. I understand records are very, very important, but the most important record that you should be chasing is trying to add another championship to your arsenal there. With
that 2 seed looked like they were probably going to get it anyway. 41-7 over the Cowboys without their first-string quarterback, and for most of the game without their second-string quarterback.
Well, they're so damn good, as we know. It's not about one player with them.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts still makes them way more dangerous and complete. And and people are a little bit like, well, you always say Jalen Hurts isn't that great. I've had a lot of people say like that to me, like, you always say he's not that great, but now you're saying he's really important. When you have the way they play, of course, first off, he's really good. Let me just say, I've been saying he's a top 10-ish quarterback for the last year and a half. Okay, so that's damn good. I know people might be mad. I might not say he's 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, but either way, that, and then where his importance to their offense is because they're simple. You've heard me say that. They don't do a lot. They have like 3 run plays. They have like 8 pass plays. right? But that's where his ability makes that more complex because of the RPOs, because of the quarterback design runs, and then because of his ability to throw the deep ball. Now it's like, yeah, we have these plays, but the way we tie it together, it makes it actually complicated for you to stop it and figure it out, right? Even though it's not all that complicated. That's where they miss him. Now, they found other ways to do that today. Kenny Pickett got underneath the center a whole lot if you watch the game back, and like they were in the I formation, they ran the ball that way. But as you've heard me say all year, I think the Eagles are one of the most complete teams in football. The game started out with Dallas driving the ball, and you went, man, Dallas looks good. And then Cooper Rush threw an interception into double coverage, pick six, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who got kicked out of the game last week, touchdown. The Dallas gets the ball back and goes right down the field and scores a touchdown, 7-7, and you're like, wow, like is like Philly going to be asleep at the wheel here a little bit? But they woke up right after that. Then that was it. Then that was all she wrote, really. That was like, from that point on, it was kind of domination in the Eagles, and they started to do whatever they want. And like I said on Football Night in America while I was doing the highlight tonight, it ain't complicated. Run the ball if there's two safeties, and when it's man-to-man against Devontae and A.J., I don't give a shit if it's McKee or Pickett or Hurts or Fareed or Sims. Just throw it up to one of those and something good's going to happen. And that's kind of what we saw again today, and their defense really buckled down as the game went on, too.
Eagles sweep the Cowboys for the first time since 2011, so it's been a while since they've done this for as great as Philly has been here recently. You said it's not about one guy for Philadelphia,
right.
But it might be about one guy. Saquon Barkley goes over 2,000 yards, 2005, now needs 101 to break Eric Dickerson's NFL record. Eric was talking to Maria Taylor on your show and go, I don't want to break that record.
Yeah.
He goes, common sense. Why would you want someone to break the record? Which I do appreciate the honesty there, right?
No, ED always keeps it honest. He's a real dude, the man there. But I think the biggest thing today was they were trying to get 2,000 yards in 16 games. That was the accomplishment. That's a big-time accomplishment. You go into the pantheon of all-time NFL running backs, you got 2,000 yards in 16 games, right? Now, whether he gets these other 101, I don't know.
So this is what Nick Sirianni said after the game. We'll see if he'll play.
Yes.
I wouldn't guess he's going to play. Why would you? I mean, I know why you would.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're tempting the football gods if you're trying to just for a game that means nothing, right? You got the 2-seed clinched right now.
100%. 100%. Like if there's like you decide you want to play because you want to play to stay fresh and sharp as a football team, and it's about that, then okay. But if you go, we're going to play to get some guy a record, I would say the football gods are going to be like, hey, you for making it about one thing. We might have to teach you a lesson here as gods of football, right? And the bigger picture, again, is them winning the Super Bowl. And what I would say, and I think why they gave him the ball so much at the end, because I think in their heart of hearts, they know they're not going to play next week. Take it as a bye week. Make sure Jalen Hurts is totally healthy, ready to go. Some of the other guys that you get, veteran players who've been banged up, all that. Get yourself 100% ready, because you could have Washington or Green Bay coming into town. And we know, like we've said, Washington just beat them last week. Green Bay went toe-to-toe with them week 1. They're going to be dangerous. So be at your best for that wild card game to set yourself up. That's what I would say. Saquon Barkley in the MVP conversation, Offensive Player of the Year, phenomenal year, crazy year. Because last year, Lamar won the MVP, and it wasn't like a wow year, but he had some wow moments at the end of the year. This year, he's having a better year, and we got 3 other guys that I'd go, all could win the MVP. Burrow, Allen, or Saquon. Where you'd go, if one of those just had the year they're having this year last year, they would have won the MVP last year, right? And now we're in this like, damn, all 4 of them deserve it, and only one's going to get it, and I don't know who that's going to be, but it certainly doesn't feel like it's going to be Saquon. It feels like it's going to be Lamar or Josh Allen.
They'll give him the Offensive Player of the Year, as if like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson don't play offense. For some reason, I don't know. I still don't understand that.
Yeah, it's still a weird one, right?
So what do we think about the Cowboys here? So this Mike McCarthy is the first Cowboys head coach with 2 losing seasons since Dave Campo in 2000 and 2002. I mean, there's chat. I mean, Jerry is, for everything that he does that you may not like or question, he is very loyal with his head coaches.
He is.
I wonder how this will all shake out for him now.
I mean, unfortunate. I think the first thing I would say is I don't look at Mike McCarthy as being the problem here in Dallas. Right. I don't look at it that way. I mean, you had, 3 years before this where they won 12 wins, right? This year, you lost your quarterback. We went into the year going, they don't look the same on the roster. We don't expect them to be awesome, right? There was the CeeDee Lamb contract issues. There was Michael Parsons and some of that crap going on. Dak Prescott before the year. So I would say a lot of the problems they had were not Mike McCarthy made. I would say they were Jerry made. They were the Jones family made. And that's where I think they realize that and go, wait, we're going to stay with this guy. Mike McCarthy, again, I know I've had in the past, I've been annoyed with how he called offense with Aaron Rodgers and was too conservative and all that. He's still a good football coach. His team still comes to play. I know they didn't come today the same way, but physical, usually pretty detailed, right, on both sides of the ball. I certainly would bring him back. I don't think there's any question about that. And I think still, if they get Micah Parsons signed up, they still got some pieces on that team and a nucleus there where you go, they should be able to return back into the upper tier of the NFC next year with a healthy Dak Prescott and company, and maybe just getting another weapon on both sides of the ball here and there.
Yeah, 7-9 record right now. Do they have like a 7-win talent roster? Yeah, maybe even a little worse
exactly
at times with the injuries they've had.
That's the point. Exactly right, Ahmed. Exactly right.
All right, so they're the 2 seed are the Eagles. In the AFC, the